Well, hello. My name's RJ. Welcome to the Main Event RJ channel. Is that name completely stolen? Kinda. But I think you guys get it. It's a kind of a cool name. And I'm stealing it because I just kind of wanna. So I'm recording a few of these so they can all go up at once. So let's not beat around the bush. Gunther is one of the most dominant IC champions ever. Probably, in my opinion, the best IC champion ever. Now, I'm recording this on March 12th, the day after the most recent Raw. This will probably go up the next Raw, before the next Raw happens, but we just crowned Sami Zayn as Gunther's WrestleMania opponent. I'm not gonna lie, don't really like it. And before I go farther into that, I want to bring up three things. Number one, Gunther is probably my personal favorite WWE wrestler right now. I love what he does. I like the gimmick where it's literally just not a gimmick. It's just, I am a professional wrestler. And then he just does good stuff. Number two, I don't necessarily like the Chad Gable story for the IC title, which is basically, I fought for it, I lost, my daughter cried, that's your fault thing. I'm not saying it's bad. I personally think a more butt heads, angry, I'm a better wrestler story would be better for the character that is Gunther. But I would have accepted Chad Gable winning at Mania because at least they were trying. They had like vignettes at him at his house and talking about this. I need this more than anything. This isn't just about the IC title. It's also about beating Gunther and just being better. The moment would have made a lot more sense. And number three, I really, really like Sami Zayn, but I don't like him going for the IC title after a year of saying I want to be world champion. Listen, I understand this whole like I want to be on WrestleMania. I main evented it last year. Now I'm not even on it. That story to get him to the world title to me makes more sense than I just want to be on the WrestleMania card. I should fight the most dominant champion and try to dethrone him. Which, don't get me wrong, the match is probably going to be fire. I mean, Sami Zayn, WrestleMania Sami Zayn, different level. It's a lot of fun to watch. Gunther, a lot of fun to watch. I don't see a world where this title match is going to be bad. But I also don't want to see Sami win more than I don't want to see Gunther lose. I think Gunther should go into Bash at Berlin with the IC title and win the heavyweight title and just walk out double champion. That sounds amazing. I wanted that for WrestleMania 40 and I didn't get it. But with the Bloodline story stuff, it makes sense on why they went this direction. So that's why I want to talk about what happens after Mania, because I don't believe that Sami Zayn is going to dethrone Gunther, only because it just doesn't make sense. And I don't think like the IC title needs this banger ending to the general audience, but I think at least for me personally, I love going back to rewatch Gunther stuff because I think that is how you run an IC title run, and it was great. So I would personally like to see the story at least have a nice little check mark next to it, rather than it's like, oh, the run was amazing, the ending kind of sucked. So these are like three people / pitches. I'm going to talk about like the match leading up to winning and then what they would do after, probably necessarily in order to do that. I don't want to do too many of these because I don't know how long this intro is going to be, but I don't want it to be too many. So I think I'm going to do three, and I think it's time to just talk about it. So this one is a lot of fantasy booking and a lot of stupid stuff. Raw after Mania, Gunther comes out. I'm the dominant champion. I can't be beaten. This is my title. Sheamus comes out. Sheamus is technically on SmackDown, but technically he was also part of the Brawling Brutes, which are broken up now because now they're the Czech Republic, whatever their name is now. So you could just get away with be like, what's Sheamus doing here? I don't know. And then like Pierce is just like, I signed Sheamus. Then you just have them beat the hell out of each other, and then maybe have him beat him at Backlash so you can free up the IC title off of Gunther so you can start working towards the world title stuff. Or I guess you could delay it to SummerSlam until, then, so that way you can get the belt off of possibly Drew. So give it to a babyface. So, because listen, regardless, I don't see going into Bash at Berlin, Gunther not having a world title match. It just doesn't make sense to me. And, Gunther deserves it, honestly, just the way he works. So maybe it could just go, Sheamus comes back, they go to SummerSlam, bada boom, bada bing. Drew drops the title to Sami, Gunther drops the title to Sheamus, and then Gunther just goes, yeah, Sami, you couldn't beat me at WrestleMania. I'm going to fight you at Bash at Berlin. I'm going to earn my match at Bash at Berlin. And then he walks and takes it. That's the simplest way for me to map it out. But I guess because the next two that I have, I like more. But like Gable makes a lot of sense because of the story they've been building. Sheamus makes a lot of sense because he's hunted the IC title. It's the last title he has to earn. And also, he's been out kind of around the time. So it's like he hasn't had the opportunity to go back to get that. And then Drew messed him up at Mania. So it's like, it's a satisfying ending, but like it is a baseline satisfying ending where it's just like, okay, I like that. At least it tucks it in, and it's chill. I like it. At number 2, though, I've got Jey Uso, and now listen to me. I know Jey Uso has been a success at getting over, but not a success in ring. His in ring stuff isn't bad. It's just that he loses a lot. And considering he calls himself main event Jey Uso, it's like, maybe start winning some main events. I understand like the beating down to build up. Understandable. Got that. I think the perfect solution is to have Gunther tell Jey, you cannot beat me without your family. And even with your family, I've beaten you. You know, we go post-Mania because Jey and Jimmy are going to wrestle. Boom, Jey and Jimmy wrestle. They get over their beef. Not necessarily friends or nothing, but they separate. They go on their own singles way. They go to do singles stuff. And then Jey has his redemption, like, I'm going to beat you this time because I'll have no distractions and I can beat you, take the title. Boom, SummerSlam. Boom, going to Bash in Berlin to win the World Heavyweight title. Regardless, it's going to happen. I'm just going to say it out loud until it does. But then Jey could go off to have a singles feud, even with Jimmy, where Jimmy could take his loss at Mania, maybe at Mania they hug or something, right? But then he goes back to SmackDown, loses, goes, you know what? I'm tired of losing, starts to get some wins back, starts to gain some momentum, looks at his brother, goes, you know what? I have to beat you because ever since I lost to you, these losses feel like they hit a little harder. So now I'm going to start winning. IC title match between the two even at Bash in Berlin. You could have Jey versus Jimmy 2 at another pay-per-view. It wouldn't be too far-fetched. It gives the IC title an important storyline to go into directly after. Because Jay's going to have some decent matches in there. Not assuming they're going to be Gunther level, though, every time. So, if you take it from a wrestler who has a bunch of, like, 5-star matches of the title, and people look at, like, oh, that's the 5-star wrestling title, giving it to anybody that isn't going to put on 5-star matches every time, it's going to be hard. 'Cause even Chad Gable, who I think is, like, the number one for that, not Sammy, he's not going to take that and get 5-star matches every week. He's going to get good matches, don't get me wrong, but it makes sense if you put it over from wrestler, and everybody's like, oh, it's a 5-star belt, to, oh, it's a 5-star belt, but I'm more watching theatrically, which is, a WWE staple. WWE loves their stories. That's like the reason to watch WWE is the stories, right? I didn't mean to hit my mic. So giving it from wrestler to sports entertainer gives it back a little bit more of its it should be a WWE type feeling, where it's like it is the workhorse title. They're not just in the ring being the workhorse. They're also doing really good stories. So that makes sense to me. So, number 1, this is where I get into max fantasy booking, because number 1 is going to be Ilya Dragunov. I know, there's probably 30 other people that said the same thing. Listen, this is how I would do it. If I could have the pen and I could write this and I could just make everything that I write come true and everything goes swimmingly, it would just be Tony D'Angelo, who's supposed to be fighting Ilya at Stand and Deliver. They get jumped. They're out. What happened? It had to have been Carmelo. You go to Carmelo. Carmelo, did you jump this guy? Nah, man, I didn't jump this guy. My security did, but I don't know how that's my fault. They're their own person. Why are they, I can't be blamed for what they did. They just go, bro, you can't just be going around jumping people. Fine. It just sounds like Ilya doesn't have an opponent. Okay, you can have your match with Ilya for the world title tonight. Instead of as Stand and Deliver, boom, Carmelo cheats to win, takes the belt off of Ilya. Ilya's pissed, but instead, Ilya goes, I've got bigger fish to fry, but I'm not going to let you get away with that. I know somebody's going to beat the shit out of you. Boom, Trick Williams, blood feud for the NXT title at Stand and Deliver. Is it messy? Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, because why would they move their main event that just got completely toppled to a random NXT night? I don't know, but this is how I'm getting Ilya to Mania, damn it, because I want this match to happen at Mania more than anything, and I'm probably not going to get it for a few years. So, Ilya goes off, doesn't do anything. He just keeps posting his crazy workout videos with Uncle Iroh quotes on him, and doesn't say a word about being at Mania, or anything. Doesn't even say, I'm in the city, where is it? It's I'm not even in in Philadelphia. He just keeps posting his workout videos. It gets wilder and wilder. And then Gunther comes out. He's in his ring gear. He goes, I don't know what happened. I was supposed to fight Sammy. Sammy's not here. Boom. What a way to write off Sammy. He's not here. Yeah, he's just gone. It just doesn't make, just flick him out of the way. Just flick him off the poster. It doesn't make any sense anyways. And then he goes, I need an opponent. I'm not missing Mania. I'm the most dominant IC champion, and I deserve this match. Come out now. Ilya's music kicks off. Boom. Ilya and Gunther just have a 5-star classic because I don't think they could ever not have a 5-star classic. Boom, you make a new star out of Ilya because Ilya's gonna make that title look. What I said earlier about like the title going from Gunther, who's a 5-star wrestler, to anybody else, there isn't gonna necessarily put on 5-star defenses every single time the way Gunther has. I kind of negate that by putting it on Ilya. Ilya is so good. I feel like the biggest problem with putting him on the main roster is they're probably gonna tell him to relax. That guy should not relax. I think his Matt Dragon energy needs to come straight to the main roster and push the IC title into being, yeah, this thing, it's not easy to earn. And he just goes on a rampage of beating superstar to superstar. Main event, Jey Uso tries to challenge him. Boom, just runs through him with his, I can't remember what it's called, the missile, something. And the entire time, everyone's thinking, when Gunther comes back, he's going to get that belt back. When Gunther comes back, he's going to get that belt back. But Gunther comes back and doesn't even acknowledge that he lost the title. He goes, yep, I'm focused on the world title now. They go into Bash at Berlin, and I don't know what Ilya would do. Ilya would fight. I don't want to say he fights nobody. He would definitely have to have. You could have him wrapped up in a storyline with Chad Gable, even where it's like now Gable has another foreign, not really heel, because Dragunov is so like in between it. He just does whatever the crowd reacts to him for. So you could kind of have Chad Gable be the babyface, Ilya be the heel. Be like, you couldn't beat Gunther. I beat Gunther. You can't beat me. That could even continue that story. But the entire time, I want Dragunov's title reign to be, I am Gunther's boogeyman. I keep stealing his world, I guess his world titles every single time he goes on a reign. So I want Gunther to win the world title and have that in the back of his head. Hey man, Ilya can come out of nowhere and challenge me for this, and he has a history of taking these titles off me. But on top of that, Ilya is thinking, I took the NXT UK title off him and the IC title off of him, but now he's getting stronger, and he just keeps going further. With every time I'm here, he left, came back, and now he's here. And now we're in a standstill because he has to hold the IC title because it's pride for him. He's not just going to drop the title. So he has to continuously chase Gunther, who now just leveled up to get to the world title, and they're in a constant chase against each other, which could end at WrestleMania 41, could be a title for title Hogan, and Ultimate Warrior thing. One of them's going to walk out double champ. Who wins that? I want to say Gunther, but I don't necessarily like the idea of putting the IC title back on Gunther, because if I do that, I'm never having him lose again for the rest of my life. And personally, it's just like, again, you also don't have to do that. You could also have Ilya lose the IC title at like Chamber or at the Rumble, somewhere where like Gunther maybe gets involved before, and then you can put Dragunov in the Rumble. That makes sense. He loses it early in the night, gets in the Rumble, and then wins it. That could be a cool storyline. Maybe, I think, for me, it's perfect. For me, that's a flawless booking. It gets him to WrestleMania 41, night 1 main event, because I don't know what they're going to do for night 2, but odds are it's going to be Cody Rhodes and somebody else. Or Rock and Roman. Could always be that. I think Ilya, with or without the IC title, Gunther with the heavyweight title, definitely should main event night 1. That match would just, it'd be so good. That is a 5-star just for announcing it. But man, it's just not going to happen. And I was hoping it would happen. I was really hoping, but then Dragunov won the NXT title. Then he fought Baron Corbin. Then he fought, who did he fight? Trick. And I'm like, they're not putting the belt on Trick yet because they got to do the mellow thing. And I just got saying, can they still do Ilya Walter? I almost said Walter. WWE can't write him out of my head. Do I still want Ilya Gunther? Of course. And I will love it if it's on a B pay-per-view, an A pay-per-view. Hell, even if it's on a house show. If I can watch it, I'll watch it. But at the end of the day, regardless of what happens, Gunther ain't losing at Mania. I'm sorry. Sammy doesn't make any sense. Sammy is such a weird one. And if they put the belt on Sammy, thanks for just wasting 600 days of Gunther's talent like that. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, down in the comments, tell me, who do you think should dethrone Gunther? I think, like, it just makes the most sense for me, like, what we have, what the product has showed us, for it to be Chad Gable. But I understand. Actually, I don't. I don't understand why not Chad Gable. I don't get it. Maybe, hey, listen, this is going to come out in like a week. Maybe they're going to do something on Raw tonight that just makes you go, you know what? I should just enjoy the ride. That's the one thing about wrestling. Sometimes you just got to enjoy the ride and you just got to see what happens. But Triple H, you're so 50-50. And I think that's the big thing. It's not going to be like coming in and winning the WWE title and then just like, oh, he's already a main eventer. No, but you are going to be the top of the mid-card instantly. It is the crowning achievement of the mid-card because, Gunther made it that way. Now we just need Logan Paul to do something with that U.S. title. But that's another video for another day. Guys, I hope you enjoyed, like I said, and I will see ya when I freaking see ya.